back up a bit and give some
Sure.
context before I get into that. It is much more challenging for an organization to see remote work for what it is, which is an operating model treated like a product, compared to what a lot of organizations want to treat it as, which is a policy or a perk. If you just see it as a human resource policy, you can probably hammer out that policy in a week and say, it's done. There's our work from home policy. Let's move on to the next thing. But what you should actually do is recognize that if this is an operating model, we have to audit our entire tool stack, our workflows, even our values and culture, and ask ourselves, do these things still work when one or more people are not at the central office? That's a taller task. And that's why you see a lot of organizations hemming and hawing or asking people to come back to the office, because they've run this analysis and they've determined it's simply too difficult. They don't want to put in the effort to re-architect their entire operational mainframe. Think about a company as an operating system, lines of code. Many organizations had a bit of a patchwork code to begin with, but they use the office as the communication patch.
Yeah.
Correct. And in the absence of the office as a central pillar, now their code looks incredibly buggy. Communication falters, culture falters, you name it. And so the quick fix is get everyone back into the office. The right fix is let's just rewrite the entire code base. So I say all of that as context. And if you can get an organization to swallow that and recognize that the future requires a rewrite, the benefits are numerous. I mentioned the resilience and durability. There's an incredible efficiency that comes from being able to source top talent from anywhere in the world instead of who can you find either in a commutable distance to your office or who can you force or persuade to move, which, by the way, has become much more difficult post-COVID because people simply have more remote options than ever before. And also, when you think about around-the-clock businesses, a lot of companies are multinationals now. And if you're able to strategically hire people around the sun, pair them with an incredibly robust knowledge base so that they optimize for knowledge retrieval versus knowledge transfer, which is the old way, you're able to run a much more efficient business. But of course, this requires a re-architecting. It's here that I'll mention, if a company is embarking on this, they should hire a leader to steward it. Think about any other thing that matters in a business. We care about revenue, we hire a chief revenue officer. We care about communications, we hire a chief communications officer. Distributed work, especially if you weren't already distributed, is a massive, massive shift. It's not as simple as saying, hey, everyone can work from home. We're going to keep all of our workflows the same. To do this properly, you really have to rewrite a lot of what makes your organization tick.